During my years in Ghana, in West Africa, as a missionary, part of the time I lived in a village that was near the leprosarium. It was called Ankafo. Ankafo had about 200 families, and the houses were a mud structure with a grass roof, and the houses were very, very close together, maybe 15 feet, 10, 15 feet apart from each other. And my closest neighbor was a woman. She was a Muslim, and she was the second wife of a man who did not live with her. He lived with his first wife. Her house was just a very, very small structure. She lived alone with her cat, and she told me that she was suffering with breast cancer. She found out that she had breast cancer, but she was not able to afford the medication that she needed for treatment. And this medication had to come from Germany. So I was able to get help from some of my benefactors to purchase this medication for her, which actually saved her life. And when she recovered, she told me that she sent word to her husband to come to thank me for helping her, which really, as I said, literally saved her life. So the day was set when the husband was coming. So we're waiting for him to arrive, and he's approaching. He comes in a taxi, and he's approaching us, and when he was about 10 feet away, the two of us realized that we had met before. About 2 years before that, I was on my way to the cathedral in the city of Cape Coast, and this man approached me, and he asked me. He said, "Who do you worship?" So I started telling him about Jesus, and he said, "Don't you pray to Allah?" I said, "Well, I pray to God, but Jesus is my Lord and Savior." And I was in my habit. I had a rosary on. Well, he took the rosary and ripped it apart. And he told me that I have to pray to Allah. So I said to him, "Obviously, you're not going to convince me to change my faith, and I'm not going to convince you of anything. So why don't we just go our individual ways in peace?" And so I started walking away on my way to the cathedral. And then I felt something hit my head. And I looked up, and then I turned around, and there were 4 men that picked up stones and started throwing them at me. Well, if there was a marathon for the Olympics, I would have won that day. I never ran so fast, but anyway, I realized that this was that gentleman who approached me and tore my rosary apart. And as I said, the two of us recognized each other, and I said, God has such a sense of humor. I am going to have to receive his thanks, accept his thanks, and as he slowly reached his hand out to shake my hand, I realized I have to not only accept his thanks, but offer forgiveness for him for stoning me. And I felt, well, I need to take on a spirit of forgiveness and acceptance and be that instrument of peace that I'm called to be. And, I never saw that man again in the 17 years that I was there, but it reminded me of what my calling really is and what the Lord is asking of me, to be that instrument of peace.